Hello, on November 26, 2021, a notice for regulation was posted to the environmental registry called Moving to Project List Approach under the Environmental Assessment Act with the number 0194219 and the deadline to comment until January 25th, 2022. If you do not have regular access to the environmental registry or regular email access, you can submit by mail to the EA Modernization Project Team, the Environmental Assessment Modernization Branch, 135 St. Clair Avenue West, 4th floor, Toronto, Ontario, M4V1P5, Canada. The government wants to make a project list for comprehensive environmental assessments, previously individual EAs. This is very controversial because if you're one unit below, there's no comprehensive EA, even though the project might have greater environmental risk associated with it. A common example that I've heard is a bridge when I was in school. If the unit is 50 meter bridge, then someone might make a 49.4 meter bridge. So that's one issue with the list system. Some of the categories are electricity, electricity generation greater than 200 megawatts, establishing a generation facility that uses coal for fuel, which is odd because coal has been removed from generation. In Ontario, oil that is greater than 5 megawatts, transmission lines 75 kilometers long and 345 kilovolts. There would be a separate category for voltage greater than or equal to 115 kilowatts, but less than 345 kilowatts. And greater than 2 kilometers in length. There was a landfill greater than 100,000 cubic meters. Changing a landfill to increase the total waste disposal volume by more than 375,000 cubic meters. Under this, a landfill could be 99,999 cubic meters, then expand to 374,998 cubic meters, and have a greater environmental impact, but miss the environmental assessment. However, there was a quote, the proposed provision will provide that proponents are not able to use the streamlined EA process to do a series of expansions over a defined period of time in order to avoid undertaking a comprehensive EA. The ministry is proposing that the establishment of a new highway or extension of an existing highway of 75 kilometers or more in length be made subject to a comprehensive EA requirement where the highway meets all the following criteria. 2 lanes in each direction, where travel in each direction is divided by physical medium strip, where access to the highway is provided primarily by grade separated interchanges, and where the posted speed limit for the highway is less than 80 kilometers an hour. This is problematic because highways can travel through significant habitat, and 75 kilometers is a long distance. So that runs into the bridge scenario. Oh, I said that those are. Yeah, and this is all from the attachment that was included in the notice called Moving to Project List Approach under the Environmental Assessment Act. There's a lot of reading material with this. Let's see, where was I? Yeah, and there's other proposed changes from this document. Oh, I will. Yeah, so I believe I was saying that there's other changes to the proposed in the document. There was the highway extension, 75 kilometers. I just talked about. And one of the links on the notice led to a page that said not found. So there was a broken link, and it related to notice 0192377. So I had to manually type it up. It was proposed project list for comprehensive environmental assessment under the Environmental Assessment Act. The decision has not been posted, so I can't read what the public and interested parties had to say. I looked at what the Canadian Environmental Law Association said. They did not like the proposed list. Quote, the reasons for this request to cancel the proposal all outlined below and may be summarized as follows. 1, up a little bit. The intent of the proposed list is to inappropriately restrict the application of Part II.3 of the Environmental Assessment Act comprehensive EAs to a relatively small number of major infrastructural projects and to avoid non-existent duplication between the EAA and other provincial laws. 2, while the ministry purported to apply certain environmental factors to develop the proposed list, the ministry apparently relied on its expertise in selecting the listing candidates and has provided no objective, persuasive, or evidence-based justification for the project or thresholds that have been included or excluded from the proposed list. 3, I went up. 3, the proposed list is not credible or transparent since it inexplicably omits too many environmentally significant projects that otherwise should trigger EA requirements. The letter pointed out that small or medium projects have a potential for significant adverse effects that are not addressed in this proposal. And now law. They pointed to the ministry statement of environmental values under the Environmental Bill of Rights, and it wasn't discussed in the current notice either. So there was no discussion previously, and there was no discussion now. When I looked at the current notice, the letter says no proposals, plans, or program have been included in the proposed project list, which is an issue because planning decisions have environmental consequences. Long-term energy plan being one example. The mineral development projects are not included in the proposed comprehensive EA project regulations. This is an issue pointed out in CELA's letter, Canadian Environmental Law Association, as well. And it's not included in the current proposed regulation either. So yeah, that's one notice on the environmental registry. There's more, and I plan on posting other videos up as well, especially regarding the environmental reports. There's several, both at the federal level of government and provincial level of government, that I'm working through. So I'll be making videos on the aspects of those, as well as more focused videos just on the proposals. Yeah, well, thank you and have a good night.